October 23rd, 2017. It's a Monday. My name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from right here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, with your legislative update for the day. I wanted to talk about a meeting I had in Santa Fe on Friday, where the AARP actually presented on retirement policy, and we have some issues. So New Mexico and Florida are the only two states in the country where more than 60% of employees do not have access to a retirement plan through their work. And this, combined with low income here in New Mexico, means a bunch of people aren't currently saving for retirement. And so when they do retire, they rely a lot of times purely on Social Security. And that income is not enough to do more than live in poverty status. And that's a real problem. So the AARP is actually proposing for states around the country to do different things. And there's a bunch of ranges of what they're doing, from knocking out fees for businesses when they re-up every year with the state government to knock out those fees if they have a retirement plan, all the way to places like Massachusetts and California have much more robust retirement plans where many of them actually require businesses to offer a retirement to compete. The R's don't like the later, obviously government regulation. The discussion that we had on Friday, they were really focusing on education. Let people know what they can do, let them know about IRAs, 401ks, that sort of thing, and focus on that. A lot of the Democrats were saying, hey, look, education's great, we need to do more of it, but some of these other things probably need to happen at the state level, because if we don't do more to get people to save for retirement, then when they are relying on just Social Security and they need something, so they need federal assistance with food stamps and support for their families and healthcare and all that kind of stuff, we all end up paying anyway. So that was a pretty big conversation there. And today there was a presentation here in Las Cruces in New Mexico State by the local drug court, and they're talking about opioid overdose. There's actually a pretty decent historic discussion about how it's been treated here in the United States. And it was interesting that in the 1860s, when the Civil War came, that's when morphine was first put in. And a lot of the vets that came out of the Civil War that were addicted to morphine had these issues with drug addiction. And it's the same thing today, right? A lot of these veterans that I meet that come out after Iraq and Afghanistan are given prescriptions to opiates, and they get addicted. And working through that's a really tough thing. New Mexico is apparently actually doing a pretty good job with different things that we try to do here in the state with the drug issue. So we do drug courts. We've started doing testing for whether or not people are taking their methadone and things like that, or just selling it on the black market. We've actually done a good job making sure people have naloxone. That is the drug that opioid overdose people or someone around you has. So if you overdose, they give it to you and it brings you back out of your overdose, which is good, because if you go into a coma, a lot of times you die. Also, the drug judge, of all people, this guy, Manny Arrieta here in town, talked about how we need to do a better job of making sure that all the different departments work together. He mentioned specifically schools. If they get someone they catch for drugs, a lot of times they won't put them into drug court so they can get treatment because of some legal issues that he said they have to work with. So we've got to figure that out. And the other thing too is, these programs that are working, they require money. As I always say, we don't live in a land of unicorns and rainbows. Money doesn't grow on trees. And if we have to keep cutting our state budget back, that means we have to cut health departments, we have to cut the judiciary, and a lot of these programs that are working aren't there to help people that have this problem. And since opioid overdose is now the #1 cause of accidental death in New Mexico, it's important that we try to keep those up. Lastly, I spent 2 hours today writing thank you notes to everyone who contributed to my campaign. If I missed you for some reason, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate it. Raising money for political campaigns is hard and frustrating, and nobody likes to do it. But the fact that so many of you, I mean, there's hundreds of these things, agreed to contribute to help me out in my political work, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you for working with me, and hopefully if we keep our heads up and keep moving forward, we can make our communities and state and country a better place. So thanks as always for watching this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, love to hear from you, and hope everyone has a great week. Bye.